beat LA, beat LA, beat LA. And yes, we did. We defeated both LA teams, and it was a good thing to see. I freaking hate the Lakers so much, almost as I hate the Boston Celtics. But this was such a great feeling, such a good thing to see. And if you remember those chants, they're one of the most infamous chants, um, in sports history. It all started when the Sixers defeated the Boston Celtics back in 1982, and that echoed through the Boston Garden to go out and beat LA, and that we did, and we got our championship. I believe it was a little before my time. I was not even a twinkle in my dad's eye yet, but what a great thing to see. Joel Embiid is a freak of nature. This guy's not even at 100% yet. I mean, you're talking video game numbers right there. 46 points, 15 boards, 7 assists, and 7 blocks. Like, wow. I mean, Embiid was just incredible tonight. He was at the line 19 times, knocked down 16 of them, only missed 3 shots from the line tonight. That's what we need to do to win games. You really do. He lived in the post tonight. He didn't take as many threes. He did it from all over the court, down in the post, the mid-range game, and behind the arc, and of course at the charity stripe. But I mean, that's the Joel Embiid that we need to see. He's getting his legs under him. God, he carried our team. Ben Simmons was great tonight. 1 rebound short of hitting another triple-double. And, the highly anticipated battle between him and Lonzo Ball, but there was no contest. Where was Lonzo Ball? He played awful tonight. Only 21 minutes. Had a whopping 2 points. The kid looked awful. But he's a rookie. He's a rookie. It happens. Played awful defense. Maybe LeVar needs to really teach his kids how to play some D. And it's just, basketball's just not an offensive game. But terrible outing. I'll tell you what, though, who looked really good for the Lakers was that Kyle Kuzma. I thought the Sixers may have been able to take him with one of our second-round picks. Unfortunately, he didn't fall. The Lakers nabbed him with the 27th. He's going to be a really, really good player for them in years to come. They murdered us on the offensive glass, too. I think they had 22 offensive rebounds, and they converted on 25 points. They murdered us on the glass, and turnovers were, another snake bit game with turnovers for us. But doesn't matter. We got the W. J.J. Redick is also struggling mightily, but you can't bench him. You got to keep him out there. This happens to shooters. I don't think I've ever seen JJ struggle this much, though. But you just got to work through it. Shooters just got to continue to shoot, and, sometimes the shots fall. But he is struggling mightily. He's just got to keep jacking them up, because he's out there. He can set screens. He can get some energy, points off of energy, backdoor cuts. He can actually pass, too. But I think an underrated part of JoJo's game, let's touch on Embiid again, because the guy was a superstar, under the lights, the bright lights of LA. He was just out of the post. I think that's like one of the weaker parts where he can pass out of, but he really, really showed some confidence in being able to envision where guys were going to be. He almost looked as good as Ben out there passing the ball. But, we got some production out of our bench. I thought Dario played well. He was a little streaky from shooting. I think he was 3 of 12 overall. We were abysmal from behind the arc again tonight. But that's all right, which is not characteristic of us. RoCo got in early foul trouble, so, next man up. He was able to have the guys behind him. Justin Anderson chipped in a few points, played some good D. TLC looked pretty good tonight, so that was a positive thing, too. We even got a little Rashawn Holmes in there. He had a nice little swat where he knocked that ball into the stands, little volleyball swat. But great win out in LA. I'm glad we swept the Clips and the Lakers out there in LA. Huge, one of the 2 youngest teams in the NBA. JoJo now finally said he's 69%. But I mean, the guy is really flowing, and we got a great two-way game going on with him and Ben Simmons. It's perfect. They're perfect for each other. They complement each other's games. You got a guy that is able to penetrate and pass the ball, and then you've got Joel Embiid, who's 7'2" and can do everything, pretty much anything on the court. From behind the arc, in the paint. He's even got a mid-range. That shot looked real pretty tonight, and I'm glad he was able to hit his free throws. This is what we need to do to, for one, get JoJo slowed down so he's not getting banged around a lot. It's a free shot, so you just got to knock him down. This is the difference between him and Shaq. If you remember a couple of shows ago, me and Adrian talked about this. This is, one of the formulas we needed to win. But to be so dominant like that, like JoJo is in the post, the only difference is Embiid knows how to shoot and he can knock down his free throws. So you can't go to that initial hack-a-shack type deal because he's 80% from the charity stripe. Great win to see, though. And I'm glad, again, he didn't fall in love with jacking up all them threes. He limited himself tonight. It's a complimentary part of his game. It doesn't have to be the main focus. He only took 3 threes tonight, knocked down 2 of them. Love to see it. Love to see it. I was really wanted Ben to get that last rebound. I thought he had the triple-double when that one stretch where he got them 2 long rebounds, but I guess they didn't count the one against him. But, great win. I know you guys were probably ecstatic to see this. I just finished watching the game. I didn't get to watch it last night, unfortunately. That's why my video is a little late. I worked pretty early this morning, so I tried watching it last night. I couldn't hack it. I was up for 21 hours. I struggled. But also, RoCo got an extension. We got him locked up. So we got our young core. I thought this was a great move by the Sixers organization. He got 4 years, $62 million. He's only making 1.5 this season, but in the contracts, he's eligible for a $15 million bump this season on top of his salary that he has now. His agent was able to work that out into the contract. So we have RoCo locked up till the 2021-22 season, 2021 to 2022. So I thought that was a great price. I think that's a bargain for what RoCo does. He's improved every year he's been in the league. He's really turned himself into a premier 3-and-D guy. When he was struggling with his shots in years past, he always had the defense to fall back on. He always locks down the opposition's best player, and he does a really good job at it. This is just a complimentary thing that goes along with his offense. If he can score like the other night where he scored 31 points, and he always comes up with the timely threes. Before, he wasn't really doing that. He was a very streaky shooter. Now he's shooting 50% from downtown. All the credit in the world to him from working on his game. I know he's probably got a chip on his shoulder for everything that's happened from going from D-League playing with the Rio Grande Vipers all the way going from a small school, Tennessee State, up until now, getting a 4-year, $62 million contract. So it just goes to show you hard work really does pay off. So kudos to Robert Covington and kudos to the Sixers brass for locking down, another piece of the process moving forward because we're going to need Robert Covington if we're going to win some championships. You know what I mean? So I thought that was a great move by the Sixers organization. Porter's better than RoCo, but not that much better, I agree. Yeah, I really wanted Porter, but he got a lot more money than RoCo did, so this was definitely a good move. I still think the Sixers need to improve on their bench. They played a little better tonight, but, night in and night out, I don't know if Embiid's going to be able to pardon me. I don't know if Embiid's going to be able to do that night in and night out. Does he have the capabilities of doing that? Absolutely. And I hope he can. I hope he can prove me wrong and do that night in and night out. But it's a rarity that guys are averaging 40-some points a game, putting up video game numbers like that. Yeah, it was a bargain. Yeah, absolutely. He's trash now. Who's trash now? Philly Bird. Talking about Porter? Otto? Yeah, Porter is better than RoCo, but RoCo's contract is way more reasonable. Oh, Stauskas is trash, dude. He's he's basically just a defensive liability out there. He's not in the Sixers' plans moving forward, especially since the steps and leaps that Robert Covington has made. Last year's free agency, we would have gotten $90 million or more, and we drafted like top 5, and he was drafted. No, Stauskas was number 8 overall, but he was top 10. Huge blunder. And it's funny because during that draft, I was hoping he fell to the Sixers when they took Elfrid Payton. When the Kings took him at 8, I was like, oh man, I really wanted Stauskas because he played really, really good basketball at Michigan State or Michigan, and really didn't convert to the NBA. Good thing I'm not a scout. But and look what happened during that draft. We drafted Elfrid Payton and traded it to get our pick back in 2017 and to land Dario Saric. The rights to Dario. RoCo shooting almost 50% from 3 so far. Yeah, he's been lights out from behind the arc. Lonzo's going to be a good player. I just think he's struggling. Yeah, Mitch McGary was nothing in the NBA. I meant RoCo would have gotten at least $90 million. Oh, I know, Philly, 2004. We definitely got a bargain by working out this deal for Robert Covington. Definitely a cheap move, and then this has the Sixers' ability to go out and sign a couple more free agents by not breaking the bank. I feel bad for Okafor, Ari. I think he should be a part of the bench rotation at least. Okafor's been gone. We've been trying to get rid of him, but nobody wants him. Ball is overhyped because of his dad. I wouldn't say that. I think Lonzo Ball is going to be a good player. I just think he's struggling right now. He needs a lot of work. His shot is off. I said this before the draft. I think he needs to change his mechanics. It's just too elongated. When he drops it down and brings it up, it kind of spins off. He crosses his face when he shoots. It goes across his left arm goes across his face when he's shooting. And you can get away with that in college because guys aren't as athletic, and the 3-point line's a lot closer. Now it's moved back. So it's a lot further. You got to put a lot more power into your jump shot, and guys are right up in your face. They're a lot more talented in the NBA, defensively. Ball is a bust, man, if you watch him closely. Sorry that disappeared. Random question. How do you feel about Lamar Marketing on the Bulls? I wanted Marketing bad. I was hoping Sixers could somehow work out a deal where they could trade up a future pick to land Marketing, Laurie, but that kid's a stud. He reminds me of Dirk. Ball's a bust, a huge bust. We'll see. Only time will tell if Ball's going to be a bust. I, for one, am not giving up on him. It's too early to really say that. And he can only shoot going to his left because he can't shoot dribbling right. He goes so predictable. His game needs some work. But he's not a scorer. He's a pure point guard. He's going to be a guy that distributes the ball. If you remember, a lot of you guys didn't, but neither did I. But watching a lot of old film, Magic couldn't shoot either. And he developed a mid-range game over the years. He couldn't shoot at all coming out of Michigan State. He was atrocious. But he could spread the ball around, and he was big. The ball's not as big. Magic's closer to Ben's size, but I still think he's going to be a solid NBA player. Is Markelle out for the rest of the season or just a few more weeks? His checkup is coming up. He was supposed to be 3 weeks. They were going to go through some tests to see how his shoulder was feeling. I hate how these fake fans already give up on Markelle. Nobody should be giving up on Markelle Fultz. It's way too early in the season, and he had a shoulder issue. But he has a checkup with the doctor to see if everything's okay, see if the strength and conditioning that he's been doing over these past couple of weeks has done anything to his shoulder, made it stronger, or if it's still in the stages of being tight. I don't think they're going to hold him out for the rest of the season. It's going to be a slower process. There's no reason to rush him back, as you can see. We've got JoJo and Ben Simmons to lean on, and RoCo. Ben Simmons can't shoot worth a crap. Dominate ball, just trash. Ben Simmons doesn't need to shoot at the moment. He's just dominating, driving to the lane. So if it's not broken, why try to fix it? He's so good off the dribble. There's no point even trying to develop a shot. He's got nice post moves that we really haven't seen, and we all know about his passing. So that's going to be a thing that's going to come along later in his career. I know they've been working on it with the Sixers shooting coach, but he doesn't, as you've seen in the games, he really doesn't even try to shoot. His floater also is very good, probably best floater in the league. Yeah, Ben Simmons has an array of moves that we really haven't even seen yet. He just hasn't used them because they can't stop him. They even when they double him, he has the ability to kick it out and still get points because of his vision. I want Giannis and Simmons to play together, dude. That would be sick. God, if Giannis could be on this team, we'd be unstoppable. I don't see that happening, but I would love to see it. You kind of think of 2K rules right there. There's been any college players. Sorry, you guys, things disappeared. Embiid could have scored 80 last night, one-man show. Well, he definitely was very dominant, but I think Ben deserves a little of that limelight too, Sean. Giannis is a freak of nature. He is something special too. Yeah, he might be battling with Ben Simmons for being one of the best players in the league 2 or 3 years down the road. But Giannis is unbelievable. I think he's better defensively than Ben, and he's developed more of a shot. He really couldn't shoot coming out either. When Embiid is on his game, he can't be stopped. Nope, I agree. He can't. Dude, Fultz play 1 or 2 when he gets back. I think Fultz is going to be playing the 1, but they probably are going to have him coming off the bench until he gets full strength back. Because 1, we need points coming off the bench. And 2, he really hasn't developed into a 2 yet. Ben Simmons basically needs the ball in his hands right at the moment, but so does Markelle. Markelle definitely needs the ball in his hands to be dominant. He's so young, he's not used to anything else. He hasn't really developed into that working off the ball. So I think they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt and have him come off the bench until he gets more comfortable working with Ben. Covington is one of the most underrated players. He is. Covington is really, really underrated. 3-and-D guy. Love it. Spurs 101 right there. They've made a living off of 3-and-D guys. Just plug and play guys, too. And Covington exceeds that. He's a great wing. And all these years we were looking for a wing, and here we found a diamond in the rough. Other side of the coin, Redick, atrocious last night. Redick's been atrocious for the past couple nights. The only game he really shined was that Indiana game where he hit, I think it was 6 out of 8 threes. He had 31 points. Other than that, Redick, going back to LA really must have gotten his head because he's been horrible the past 2 games. I mean, he couldn't hit the left side of a barn. It's brutal. But it's all right. You got to keep him in. I don't know if he's been bad all season. He's definitely hasn't been great other than that Indiana game I just referenced. Do you think Fultz playing with TJ is going to work out in the second unit? I think it will. That's where he's really going to learn to play off the ball because with TJ taking the point, I feel like they're going to work it out with TJ first before they put him with Ben. Kind of like they did with James Harden out in OKC, where he came off the bench with the same thing with Russ. Russ is a ball-dominant point guard. He really needed the ball to be effective in his hand. Markelle Fultz is going to be the same situation. Tyron Smith not playing on Sunday. It's official. That's what's up. I think the Eagles are going to, romp the Cowboys. What up, Eric? How come Holmes doesn't play more? They need his effort, energy off the bench. They didn't need him, Sean. Did you see Embiid? Embiid was unbelievable last night. He looked so nimble. He hasn't looked like, the past 13 games where he's stumbling, bumbling around and looking like he just jumped in a pool dripping with sweat. Heaving and leaning on his knees. He looked fresh. He looked really, really good out there defensively. And he wasn't in foul trouble. They should put Holmes at the 4 to pair with Amir. That would be interesting. That would be a lot of defense right there, but neither of them can create offensively for each other, so I don't know how well that would work. But shot blocking and rebounding, we'd be set. Overall, though, I love Holmes, Sid Amir Johnson. I like Amir. He's going to give you that nitty-gritty play. He's going to be, your hard fouls, do all the dirty work for you. Kind of like a Charles Oakley. He reminds me of a Charles Oakley is exactly what he does. He kind of worries me when he gets the ball in his hand because he's always fumbling around, and half the time he can't get the ball in the hoop, even when he's dunking it, even when he's wide open. I don't know why that is. I remember him when he was with Toronto. He was knocking down threes all the time. RoCo got him that check. Being the third option with these two, there is no excuses for an off night. Now, Eric, absolutely. But I think he was out of his flow tonight because he got into foul trouble, so he wasn't able to get into a rhythm. But he knocked down that huge three towards the end of the game, like he did in LA the night, a couple nights ago. What plays do you think Sixers finish? They keep playing like this, and we cut down on our turnovers. I'm thinking they could finish 5th seed. Your thoughts on TLC? Sean, very erratic to me. He's just an erratic player, Sean. Very inconsistent. I think he looked better tonight. He has the ability to. I like his shot. I don't think it's broken at all. You're not the first person to actually mention that. But he's a guy that is another 3-and-D guy. If he can be like Covington and continue to work on his shot, I think he can really cut to the basket. I think he's got a better array. He can't create on his own. People have to create for him, but we don't need him to create. He was needed to hit the open shots while he can and play good D. He was exposed during the Summer League, if you guys remembered, but he's improved since then. TLC actually looks nice. He's just he's gun shy sometimes. He second guesses himself. So that's a lot of this has to do with confidence with a lot of these young players. Same with Justin Anderson. They just get too much in their head. Ben does it too from time to time. They're very, very gun shy. Will the Sixers ever get a throwback jersey? I hope so. I like the old school royal blue with the red letters. Where is the LeVar? Yeah, I was waiting for LeVar Ball after that game, but I think Magic has him on a short leash. Especially after the comments he made before the season. And he's probably laying low because of his other son and the whole China thing, being in jail. You put his second best rookie behind Ben Simmons. Dennis Smith Jr., for sure. I definitely stuck my foot in my mouth about that one. So I was definitely wrong. So, Ron, you called it, bro. Dennis Smith looks like a stud. I think eventually Fultz and Ben are going to play together. They will eventually. I don't think we're going to see it this season. If we do, it might be in the playoffs. But it's going to be a while for that chemistry to kind of jive. Suit? I'm not wearing a suit. I don't know what you call this, but it's not a suit. I don't get decked out that much. Not all about that. It's all in the All-Star system. Do you think Ben and Embiid will make it? They're shoo-ins. Cardigan, that's what it is. Thanks, Ari. I would. I don't know. I don't know what that John's called. Yeah, cardigan. I'll try to have to remember that. But yeah, Ben Simmons and Embiid are shoo-ins for the All-Star game. And it might be a tight race if Dennis Smith Jr. continues his play with Dallas. He's nipping at the heels of Ben Simmons, but I still think Simmons should walk away with the award. That's what we're going to see if Squidward is really trying to screw the Sixers over or not. He's supposed to have a checkup this week. They said it would be 3 weeks until they reevaluated him to see if he was okay. I remember watching a video and reading something in practice. It was about a week and a half ago. He was taking all his shots with his left hand. And it didn't look terrible. It was just weird. So you could tell that shoulder just wasn't right. But I haven't heard anything since. Do you agree Simmons best rookie ever? Oof. Ever? That's tough to say, Ari. I don't know about ever. There's a lot of guys I didn't get to see beforehand, like Magic. I missed out on Jordan. I don't know how he played. LeBron, I think, has got to be up there. Kobe struggled his rookie season. I remember that. LeBron was pretty stellar, I remember, in his rookie year. Do you think they're going to blow that game last night? Lakers kept hanging around. There's always that thought because we let teams linger. We open it up. We blow the doors off in the beginning of the game, and then we just let teams get back into it with careless play, pointless turnovers, guys not reading, or, it's like they haven't played before together. one guy's cutting to the basket while the other guy thinks he's going to stay there and he throws it out of bounds, or defensive three. Stupid mistakes like that. So we let teams linger. I feel like we only should have really lost about 3 games this season, but that Kings game is still stuck in my craw. I'm still pissed about that. I think in the future, Fultz and Ben are going to play together, similar to the way LeBron and Wade played together. Yeah, they will be playing together. I think, and I believe that Fultz has the ability, to play the two. It's just going to take him some time, and that's all he knows right now is to be ball dominant. It's what he did in high school, and it's what he did the only year in college. So with the coaching staff, the great coaching staff that we have, you're just going to have to teach him to play off the ball. Remember, when James Harden came into the league, when he was at Arizona State, very, very ball dominant. He still is ball dominant, but when he was with OKC, he learned to play off the ball a bit. I guess considering Redick. I missed your question, Sean. What players and free agents should we target in the summer? I think we got to get guys. We should go after guys that can shoot the lights out of the ball. Definitely guys that can rebound too. I still think that's a weakness in our game. Just D and 3 guys. D and 3 out the wazoo is what we should do. And everybody should be able to shoot. But in this day and age in the NBA, isn't that all there really is anymore? They should let him do both off the bench, play back up point, and then play off the ball with TJ. It's going to be interesting to see what Brett does and what he has in mind. We just got to get him back on that court. I want to get him back on that court. Imagine if Fultz is injected into this lineup with how well Ben and Embiid are playing. The more they play together, the more continuity, the more gelling they do, the better they're going to be. And to see after this game, I mean, sky is the limit. It's so exciting to be a Sixers fan now. They were begging him to shoot. And I'm glad that he played terrible, because this is what this was built up to. Ball versus, Ben Simmons. And then that whole thing over the summer with the whole beef with LeVar, like Embiid cussing out LeVar, and then, oh, by the way, Ben Simmons' sister said, yeah, I hope my brother dunks on Lonzo, and he got to do it. It was like the 3rd play of the game where he gave him a little dip, went around him, and then dunked the ball. I loved it. So he stayed true to that. The ball shouldn't be put on the same breath as Simmons. I hate when people compare them. No, it's just because they're true point guards. That's the only reason they compare them to. Lonzo's jumper makes... Yeah, Lonzo's got one of the ugliest shots I've ever seen. I thought that was a huge weakness, and he has to adjust it. He cannot stick with that shot, in my opinion. It's just too elongated. It takes too long for him to drop it down, and then it crosses over his face. It's not going to work in this NBA. Guys are too good defensively. He's not going to be able to get it off unless he's wide open. There was a couple of shots that kind of went in and out on him, but there was a lot that looks pretty bad. He hit at least 4 bricks that I saw. And he didn't penetrate at all, which I was surprised. Guess he was afraid to go at Embiid, but you saw Kuzma wasn't. He went straight at Embiid. I thought he played way, way better. He looked more like the number 2 overall pick than Lonzo Ball did. Sark been playing really bad. He's been playing decent defensively, but he hasn't shown up offensively. How did you meet FedQ? We met FedQ over... I met FedQ over Facebook. We knew a similar associate, our friend Jeremy, and we were commenting, talking about football one time on his Facebook post, and things went from there. We kind of argued back and forth about a certain player, about the Eagles signing a certain player. It was actually about Chris Long a few years back when the Rams cut him, and then lo and behold, look at that. How ironic is that? He signed with the Eagles. But that's how I met Adrian. Sean, what was that? Your question disappeared again. I'm sorry, bro. These things only stay up for like a second or two. Oh, Ingram. I think it was about Ingram, but he played silky smooth tonight. That was the whole debate. Adrian wanted Simmons. I wanted Ingram. I think Ingram has looked 10 times better than he did last season. His offensive, this is why I liked Ingram coming out, why I kind of wanted him to take him over number 1 overall, just because of his ability to score. He can score in and out. He's got a really, really nice touch from behind the three. He doesn't have the vision, obviously, as Ben. He can't hook up his teammates like Ben can. Who's going to be a star? I want to make Markelle sit out the rest of the season. I don't know about that, Eric. I don't know. Simmons way better than Ingram. Yeah, he is. He definitely is. But my whole debate was I just wanted a guy that could knock down shots. And Adrian's argument was you can teach people to shoot, which you can over time. I just wanted it because of instant offense, but Ben is a superstar for sure. But I think Ingram looked pretty good. I think he was well deserving of the number 2 overall pick, and I wouldn't have minded him on the Sixers either if we would have taken him. Better career, Westbrook or Kyrie? Definitely Westbrook. Ben can lead a team to the playoffs. Ingram can't. Ingram's like a pure scorer. He can't really put a team like if he can't score, he really can't do anything else. He can't really rebound the ball because he's so scrawny, and he really doesn't have any vision. He can't pass. He can put a team on his back by scoring, but that's about it. You're absolutely right. Minor complaint, but Simmons must work on his free throws. Got to be better. Yeah, that's a complaint with the whole Sixers team. Other than J.J. Redick, JoJo's our second best free throw shooter at 80%. That's insane. A lot of our, like Markelle Fultz, I don't get that. How can you play basketball your whole life and not being able to knock down a free throw? There's nobody in your face. Doesn't make any sense to me. It should be the easiest way to score points. I never understood that. Simmons could shoot in a high school. I don't know what happened. If you look at his shot when he's at the free throw line, he holds the ball weird. It looks like a corkscrew. If you guys remember Joakim Noah's, it kind of reminds me of his shot. It's not as bad the way it corks like Noah's did, but he holds the ball very odd. Simmons and LeBron the way. If he keeps training with LeBron, he's in the same mold as LeBron. I don't know if there's been anybody closer to LeBron than Ben Simmons. Yeah, they were comparing those two. KD with Ingram and then LeBron and Simmons when they were coming out. Any advice, Bulls fans? Stick it out. You saw what the Sixers did. I'm guessing you're a Bulls fan, Kirk. But definitely stick it out. We went through a lot of losing years here with Philly. A lot of losing years. I was going to games, a few years ago when the Sixers were getting blown out by 40 by the end of the second quarter. It was terrible, but I knew what they were trying to do. So you just got to trust the process, bro. Nick Anderson's disease, not being able to hit free throws. Yeah, there's a lot of guys that can't hit free throws on our team. Shaq was another one of them. You got to be able to hit them shots. Like I said, nobody's in your face. There's no defense. You should be able to knock them down, no problem. Yeah, Knicks, Pacers are winning. It's a bizarre year. The process, baby. Hinkie's the GOAT. I agree, Ari. Hinkie is the GOAT. We should have a statue of Hinkie right out front of the center right now for what he's done. They're never going to do it because BC's probably going to take all the credit. But I agree. Hinkie's the whole reason we are in the situation that we are. And I just want to know where all those Embiid haters were at, where they didn't want to take Embiid and, he gets hurt. He's a bust. He's another Greg Oden. Yeah? Okay. We'll see. Thinking Embiid's definitely way better than Oden. Yeah, he would have went number 1, so it was kind of good he got hurt. Why do you think JoJo hesitates a lot on taking wide open threes? Because he's not... I feel like he doesn't want to make that a part of his game. Definitely think the coach has gotten in his ear about taking them wide open threes. He shouldn't go straight for the 3-point. Embiid is healthy. Scary isn't an even accurate adjective. Yeah. He would have went number 1 overall if it wasn't for that back injury before the draft. Cavs would have had him. I can't imagine him and LeBron. Ew. Best player overall in the world, and then adding Embiid to it. Yikes. How do you feel about Joel's trash talking on social media? I love it. He's the king of it. I want him to continue to do it, get in people's heads any way he can. Trash talking, calling crap. I love what he did to Willie Reed in L.A. Continue to talk trash. Mark Lopez and Randall were a joke for Embiid yesterday. Yeah, he wasn't scared of them at all. I don't know why Luke Walton would even put Julius Randle on Embiid. He's got I think Julius Randle's only like 6'8". He's got like 6 inches on him and at least 40 pounds. So thank you, Luke Walton, for doing that and making it so easy for Embiid to score. You're the true MVP, bro. Any more questions, guys? I know you guys have been firing off. You've been great. It's a great win. I cannot wait for a rematch with the Dubs at the center. We're finally going to have a stretch of home games down at the center finally, because out of 14 games, only 4 have been at home and 10 on the road. Yeah, I agree, Sean. Young, Wentz. We got Wentz, Embiid, Reese Hoskins. It's looking bright future. All them losing seasons for all 4 sports. I don't know about hockey because I could care less about it. Gothelspear, I think, would that be our comparison, our young star for our hockey team? And Pete Stratdog is new Matumbo finger wag. I would like Embiid to have something like the Matumbo wag. I don't know what it could be. It could be the smile. Just the like, he knows what he's doing. He's just getting in your head by smirking at you. Provolov, thank you, Sean. Well, there we go, Provolov. We even got a little hockey talk in here. Ugh. Sorry, guys. No hockey talk. But yeah, it's looking bright, a bright future for Philly sports, and all 4 of them. We're all young. Wentz could take the Eagles to the Super Bowl. You going to the game Monday night? Because I'll be there. Yeah, Philly Fan TV. I'm definitely going to be there. I'll be right in my seat. Right behind the net. And 119. The free teams are going to start defending Joe. That's all right. If they start triple teaming them, that means guys are going to be open. JoJo has the ability to pass out of the post. You just got to have our guys knock down shots. JJ, continue to keep shooting, bro. Don't let the hate get you. It's all right. Just keep jacking them up. Shooters go through streaks like this. Top prospect coming out of college basketball this year. There's a couple guys. There's a couple guys from Duke. The kid from Missouri, Michael Porter. There's him. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to watch any college basketball. I watched the one game with Kentucky versus Vermont where they almost lost. But I really need to start getting into the swing of things. See, I'm watching basketball. I'm into football right now. We got the Thursday night game coming on. That crowd will be ultra electric when the Warriors come in. That game's going to be insane. It has been. Even when the Sixers stunk, it was vaguely, yes. I'm sorry. Thank you, Ari. He's a stud. I think he's the top prospect over, actually, Michael Porter. But they're both like 6'10" and can handle the ball. And it seems to be the trend now. 6'10" guys handling the ball like point guards. Yeah, but does he turn the ball over a lot when he's tripped and sometimes double? He has turned the ball over a lot. He's cut down, though. If you watch the last 2 games, he hasn't had over 5 turnovers, which has been stellar. I think that has a lot to do with the game stamina, though. He's going to continue to get his legs under him. Now we have a break Friday. And I love that there's no restrictions. And he only played 34 minutes, guys. Think about that. Imagine if he played 45 minutes, how many points he would have if he was 100%. It's a joke to think about. Could we really be witnessing maybe the best center to ever play? I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I missed out on Kareem. I didn't get to see Olajuwon either. The best big man I guess I could see I watched was Shaq. Hey, KG, can I hit you up after the show? I want to explain to you my theory on Fultz. Yeah, sure, bro. You can hit me up. No doubt. Yeah, I know. I'm just talking about being, but he has improved a lot with his turnovers. He cannot be stopped. You can't guard and be one-on-one. It's impossible. Nope. You can't. Nobody can shut that kid down. Because if you do try to prevent him from going to the block, he can hit an over-the-shoulder jumper. He can kick it out. I mean, what makes him so deadly is his ability to hit the mid-range. That's what makes Embiid so impossible to guard. He's got the post game. He's got the mid-range. He can pass. He can dribble a little bit. Not really that much. I hate when he does that, but he's got an array of moves. Guy's unbelievable. Love watching him at Kansas. Couldn't believe we got him. Moses Malone was pretty good in Philly. Also, look Garrett Blunt in basketball jersey. Yeah, I didn't get to see Moses either, Sean. JoJo held Jordan to like 5 points, though. DJ? Yeah, DJ really can't score unless he's getting lobbed, too. I love that he got him fouled out, though, because that opened up down low for everybody to be able to drive and kick in. Well, when he got double yesterday and he found Covington easy on the cut. That's another thing. Even when he's double, he still has the ability to get points on the board because he can pass and guys can cut right to the basket when he's being doubled. If he's not being doubled, he can get guys on that swim move. That swim move is so important because he can get the foul called every single time. That swim move is one of the deadliest moves he had, and he can continue to use it until they can figure out a way to stop it. But there is no way to stop that swim. Easily beat the hell out of you. I know that's why when we acquired Moses Malone, that's how we won our championship. So I've heard. To pair him with Doctor, I heard he was a monster on the board. Yeah, that was great. I guess he would be a fair comparison. I can't call it because I never saw Moses. Don't you feel like the Cavs aren't going to be the top team in the East this year? No, losing Kyrie was a huge, huge loss. And you try to replace him with Dwayne Wade. I mean, I love D Wade, Hall of Famer, but he's old. His knees are shot. They're just a very old team now. You still have LeBron. I definitely think they're going to be top three, but the Celtics have gotten better because of Kyrie. I don't think the Cavaliers thought this was going to hit them that hard, losing Kyrie Irving. And be more like Olajuwon. Yeah, I mean he studied the tape of Olajuwon. He's got the shimmy shake. When he was back home in Cameroon, he watched tapes, and at his house. His dad wanted him to play volleyball, but he watched tapes of the Dream, and he's got a lot of the moves that the Dream has. But great win. I cannot wait for that game against the Dubs. He was like a Bulls killer, man. I just want someone that used to beat him. Are you talking about LeBron? Yeah, all them years when they had D Rose and they were the top seed with Thibs. I like those Bull teams. Yeah, LeBron. LeBron has taken a lot of good teams out. He is like Jordan in that sense, where you kill him Malone and Stockton. Well, they couldn't. A lot of teams couldn't win. The Glove couldn't win a championship because of LeBron, and then he joined LeBron and won a chip. You think Sixers going after LeBron or George in free agency? I think they can try. I know everybody wants to see LeBron here. I just don't see it happening. I know he wants to go out to L.A. because he's got all his movie deals and all that stuff out there, and he wants his kids to grow up there, but they don't look like they're anywhere close to contending for a championship. But I feel like that outweighs everything for LeBron. He just wants to win chips. He's chasing down Jordan's legacy, but he's never going to reach it. I do hate LeBron, Sean. Absolutely. I definitely do. I don't hate his game. I just hate how he's a whiny, complaining prima donna. Dubs? I'm taking the Dubs over the C's. I hope they can knock them out. Yo, what's up? What's up, Voorhees? What's up, dog? Man, just talking about that great win. Talking about that great win, bro. It was awesome. I would love to beat him, too. Because I don't like LeBron. Embiid is a raw Olajuwon, but his defensive president is like Will. I heard the Dream's defense was second to bar none the best. I know he's got close to 3,000 blocks, football or basketball. What is my favorite? Football is my favorite sport, no doubt. Basketball is right under it, though, for sure. Yeah, what up, Adrian? I'm sure you did, man. I was passed out, though, so you couldn't have told me. And I didn't look at my phone all day. I didn't check the internet, nothing. People almost ruined it for me. It's so hard to not hear about a game in this day and age with the internet and then people talking about it at work. So I basically had to plug my ears and walk away. Somebody said 46 to me, so I didn't know if we beat the Lakers by 46. But then when I saw Embiid getting closer to the game, I'm like, oh, he got 46 points. So that was the only real indication I got. Embiid from three-point range as a big man is something unseen. Well, Dirk did it. But Dirk never had the post game that, Joel Hans Embiid has. Yeah, his defense is just incredible. 7 blocks. I was hoping he was going to get the triple-double. 3 more blocks. I wish both of our guys. Has that ever happened? Has 2 players on the same team ever had a triple-double? Eric? Any of you guys know that? The Euro step. Dude, that Euro step was vicious. That guy would just stand still. Looked like he was glued to the floor. Somebody that big to be that nimble. Woo! filthy. Quadruple double ever. Man, has that ever happened? I don't think that. No, that did happen. The Admiral got a quadruple double. Embiid almost got a quadruple double. So close, guys. I would have loved to seen that. But what a game. What a game. To say I have no words. Well, it feels even better because it was on LeVar's son, right? This is why LeVar shouldn't be preaching, saying he's going to take this team to the playoffs this first year and saying all this stuff. You're just putting a bullseye on your son's back. Simmons needs to finish better around the paint. He's a complete package. Yeah, you're right. Kirk, I missed your question, buddy. Sorry. Ben's been solid though. I love that little sky hook he's got, the floater, that one finger roll where he could have dunked. He doesn't have to shoot. That's why we haven't really seen that during the game. I would like to see him work it in a little bit more, but again, if it's not broken, why fix it? Most impressive stat besides Embiid's point was the 7 assists. The guy can pass out of the post. He's got good vision. Skip Bayless said Embiid looked like a deer in the headlights. Skip Bayless is a schmuck. Can't stand that fool. He's on Jerry Jones's payroll. He's a noodle. But Wilt's team made... Yeah, I think Wilt's the standard, Eric. He almost got it. How you feel about Amir last night? Hey, he was all right. Whatever. Amir Johnson he's a backup center. Like he's going to do the nitty-gritty, like I said before. Get you some boards. Yo, for real, he's a noodle. Straight noodle. Stephen A is another. Yeah, I don't like Stephen A either. I used to like Stephen A. He's a noodle too. Like he's just salty because his Knicks tried to do the same thing and they failed horribly at it. When they had the worst record in the league, they got like the 8th pick. I don't know why they're mad though. You're pushing a superstar out of your own town. You did it to Melo, and now you're going to do it to KP. The Zingas. Straight fools. That organization is poorly run. You need to get Sam Hinkie in there if you want to do stuff right, Stephen A. So don't be mad at us because we're going to win a championship. And your team hasn't won since like 1972 when Reagan was in office, bro. Stephen A just hates the process. They all hate it. Voorhees, they all do. Question for fellas in chat. They all hate what we're doing. We did it right. How many first-round picks we got? Well, we owe Boston the Kings pick or the Celtics pick. Or the pick we got we owe to the Celtics. So both of those picks are up for grabs depending on where we finish. I hope we, get to keep the Kings pick is what I really want. So we don't have an array of first-round picks like we did before. We've got a slew of second round. I think we've got 22 second-round picks. Celtics are stacked for like the next 10-plus years. Yeah, they're loaded. Danny Ainge has done a masterful job. That dude's a straight baller GM. I mean, I wish we got to deal with, dumbass Billy King, but you can't have everything aligned for you, unfortunately. Let's take 2 aging stars and give you 7 years of first-round picks and pick almost top 3 every year. Would you sit Fultz for the year and just let him redshirt the season? No. Just because I want to get him acclimated with the team. I know it's benefited JoJo and Ben, but we don't really need him. I just want him to come off that second unit. I want him to learn how to really play 2-guard. I would rather not wait the year to do that. So, no, I wouldn't personally want Fultz to be benched. Nah. No, I don't think the Zingas is staying in – the Zingod is staying in New York. Who would want to go there? I guarantee you Dennis Smith Jr. was kissing the floor and thanking God he didn't go to that dumpster fire. Are we winning? Let him lean with the NBA body. Yeah, we're winning. For sure. I guess you don't really want to mess the flow up. I don't know. I wouldn't want to sit him. I guess I'm just being selfish. I want to see him out there playing and have our three, top picks out there playing together. How Mavericks so bad they got good players. Yeah, I don't know. They do have good players. I would like to pursue Wesley Matthews if he's a free agent or trade for him. I think he's locked under contract still. I'd like to have Wesley Matthews on this team. Imagine Embiid. Yeah, I know. Embiid at 100%. Who should the Chicago Bulls keep? Mirotic or Portis? Well, I would trade both of them. That's a bad situation right there, Kirk. If we sign Porzingis, I don't even know what to say. We could do that. I don't know how he'd work with this team. I think he'd work well actually with Embiid and have Sarge come off the bench and him play our four. I'd actually like that. I don't know how we'd land him. I don't know how much money he would demand. He'd probably demand a ton of bread. So am I, Voorhees. I'm dying to see Fultz. I'm just being selfish. I want Klay Thompson too, but he's not leaving the Dubs. Him, Draymond, and Steph are going to ride that out as long as they can. Sixers got the money to spend. We got a ton of money to spend. He's going to be something like a James Harden type player. That's what I feel. Is it Raven or is it Ravon? I'm sorry if I just butchered your name, by the way, bro. Man, we could have had Draymond. Everybody could have had Draymond. I mean, crazy he fell that low, all because of his size. Is that really ringing a bell to anything? Size doesn't matter. He's an undersized player. Look at Michigan State coach players. They're great. Biggest threat to the Eagles. Ooh, biggest threat? There's not really much resistance. The Seahawks are too flip-floppy, so I'm going to say the Saints. Raven, like Raven Simone. All right, cool. I didn't know if it was like that, but my bad, bro. My bad. I figured I'd ask because people butcher my name all the time. Yeah, I don't know about the Rams. They're still too young. Jared Goff is playing out of his mind, but I don't know. You think we're getting the top 10 pick in the draft? I hope so. I would love to add to this. Juggernaut of a team. It's just when you have so many players like that on a team, it doesn't mean it might hurt your team more than help it. They might use it as a trade chip, honestly, to land a veteran player. What contract do you like? Alshon to this offseason. They better lock up Alshon. I love how we're mixing football talk in here. I love it. I definitely think the Eagles should lock up Alshon. Even though he hasn't produced like people thought he would, he's a nice target to go along with this offense. I definitely think they got to lock him up. Vikings, I don't like the Vikings. Their defense is stacked, but Case Keenum, for real? Nah, not happening, bro. And after losing, I would say yes if they didn't lose Dalvin Cook. That was a huge loss. I'm telling you, the homie is going to be traded. He could. He very well could be. I don't know how we got what's this Vikings this week, to be honest. I've got the Vikes. Hey Kyle, is Giancarlo Stanton coming? Giancarlo Stanton is not coming. He's definitely not. And I was reading somebody else's question, but it just popped away again. My bad. I wish they would stay up longer so I could read them all. But to get back to the Eagles running back question, Miami let him go because there's been a few indications. They said that they believe his knee is going to give out. There's no cartilage in between it, kind of like Myles Jack of the Jags, the linebacker. So they're saying his career is going to be cut short. There was also, reports that he was not getting along with the coaching staff with Adam Gase. He was screaming at him for whatever reason. I don't know if he wasn't getting enough playing time. He didn't like the scheme. I've heard reports, though, and read a lot of stuff that Adam Gase is a lot like Chip Kelly. He's an egotistical maniac. So if it's either his way or the highway. So, Raven, that's probably, but I thought it was a good trade. We didn't give up too much to get him. He's off his rookie deal. He's making peanuts right now. If he could support the Eagles and help the Eagles for the next year, if he shows a little something, he's great in pass protection. He can catch the ball. He's a beast with the rock in his hands. Yeah, they're going to smoke the Cowgirls, which I would love to see. I just wish Ezekiel Elliott was playing, so they can't use that as the excuse. And Tyron Smith's out, too. So they're going to feast on that offensive line, especially that left tackle. The replacement left tackle, whoever that may be. But that's the one piece you don't want to lose on that offensive line. Kind of like the Eagles lost Jason Peters. Jason Peters' loss was huge. And Tyron Smith is the biggest loss on that Dallas offense. More than Ezekiel Elliott, I think. Oh, wow. 55. That's crazy. But I love getting Ajay. I thought that was a great move for the Birds. Jay Ajay has 2 years left on his rookie contract, too. Yeah, I know. He's not making anything next year either, too. With all the players we have out there, there's no excuses. What do you mean, Eric? Run for the life. Prescott, run. But Sean, about Giancarlo, they're saying they're asking for something that sounds like it's made up in the storybook. They're asking for so many picks and young players. That's why I don't think they're going to trade him. And Derek Jeter said that they don't even know if they want to trade Giancarlo. I read that he canceled a trade. He has the ability to cancel a no trade clause. He already doesn't want to go to the Dodgers and the Red Sox and the Cardinals. But these are all reports. I'm not going to believe anything until it's official. So at this point, it's all speculation. Adrian, do you like the Skycam? Titans or Steelers? Yeah, I'm interested to see what's going to happen with that game with the Skycam. I think the Phillies do want Yelich. I don't know what the Phillies are going to do. With that Gabe Kapler in there, it's going to be nuts. Any last question, guys? I'm going to get up out of here. I still got to eat dinner. Still got to get my picks in for the football pool and stuff, so I still got lots to do, and I've been up since 2:30 in the morning. Stanton not going to accept the trade of the Phillies anyway. I don't think he is either. I think it's all just folklore that he's coming here. If it happens, I'd love it. I read a report saying that, what was I going to say? That Bryce Harper was going to recruit Mike Trout to come to the Phillies. Now, isn't that a load of crap? Can you imagine that? Was this MLB 2K? The show? Stop. What do you think about Ertz? I've always liked Ertz. I thought he always had this production in him. He just never really had the quarterback. And now look at him and Wentz. Reminds me of the days of him and Chad. Oh, God. His name's eluding me right now. But, oh, my God. I cannot believe I cannot think of his name. But in the West Coast offense, what's the biggest target? The tight end. It looks like I got horns in the back. Yikes. Yeah, but the West Coast offense loves their tight ends. Look at Travis Kelce with the Chiefs and Andy Reid. We haven't got him blown out. Josh garbage time. Josh should be getting some playing time. We really haven't had a huge lead for him to get out there. He comes in when we're getting blown out. It's the only time he gets playing time. He looks miserable on the sideline. He wasn't even out there in L.A. They said he has a respiratory infection. Yeah, Lewis. Thank you, Sean. The targets is off-season and signing players. Brown and P. Rob. But, yeah, Eagles are looking good. Sixers are looking good. I just want that rematch with the Dubs. I know it's going to be close. We're not going to blow them out. They're the standard right now. That's what you want to be. You want to be the Golden State Warriors. We're second to them in assists. We try to hit. We take a lot of threes. We don't always knock them down. We haven't shot it too well over the past 2 games. But it's all right. You want to get to the free throw line. You get free points if you knock them down. It's all good times in Philly. Why do you think Chris Harris called the Eagles off-college offense? Charles Harris? I'm not sure why he said that. I guess just because they're so effective in the way I do remember him mentioning that. 3 extra points, 2018 Dallas. Nah, Jake Elliott's been the man. I would keep him as the kicker. Screw Caleb Sturgis, whatever his name is. What's happening with Darby Adrian? Darby is playing on Sunday. Chris Harris. Why does Colin Cowherd hate on the Sixers? Why does everybody hate on the Sixers? There's another guy I can't stand, Colin Cowherd. He's just an idiot. I think he does that stuff to go against the grain to get views and ratings. I honestly do think that's why he does it. Him, Stephen A. I love Max Kepler, though, or Max K that goes against Stephen A. He's the man. He's always sticking up for us. That dude knows what he's talking about. Yeah, Max is the man. Sidney Jones got to get out there and play. Yeah, Shannon Sharp, I think, is good, too. Very, very good commentator. It's a shame he's stuck on a show with Skip Bayless. He's so far up Jerry Jones's crack. You know, he might as well just be added as another Dingleberry. Small, what I say, inactive. All right, boys, I'm going to get up out of here. It's Kyle Gaffner with the Bitter Birds. Beat LA, and yes, we did. We signed up, locked up another piece to the process. RoCo is here till the 21-22 season. Great move by the Sixers brass. Let's continue these winning ways. JoJo's getting his legs under him, and he's looking like a straight MVP. The dude is a stud. We are looking at a Hall of Famer in the making, guys. Love it. Ben Simmons is playing unbelievable. We're going to have an MVP and a Rookie of the Year playing on the same team this year. Mark my words. All right, dogs. Kyle Gaffner with the Bitter Birds. Sixers win, baby. I love it. Peace.